significant part of the historical collections in the council relate to royal visits to the city, and Ballarat had a fairly noteworthy place in quite a number of royal visits to the township. The first one was in the 1860s, 1867, when Prince Alfred came to Australia and visited Ballarat and had quite an interesting time here. But this particular photograph that I've got here relates to a visit to Ballarat of Prince Albert Victor and Prince George in June 1881. And the photograph here is a close-up showing the two princes as they are being shown the Star of the East mine in Ballarat. And one of the great things, one of the ways that you could honour a visitor to Ballarat at that stage was to take them down one of the mines. And Ballarat had some very, very deep mines going down many hundreds of feet. And on this occasion, it was felt appropriate to take the two princes down one of the mines. During the visit, it's reputed that the owners of the mines wanted to show what these mines were all about. And they had a couple of gold nuggets, quite sizable gold nuggets, that they wanted to show the princes. So the princes were duly handed the nuggets one by one, and the princes assumed that they were gifts. And so they quite rapidly said, "Thank you very much, that's very nice of you to give us the nuggets," and popped them in their pockets. And the people at the event were far too polite to ask for the nuggets back. And so the princes quite happily left Ballarat with a very fond memory of gold nuggets that they had. So these two don't look like they've received their gold nuggets yet. They're not smiling, but there you are. So that's that. But the other aspect of this is another little sidelight of this event. This is another photograph of the same event. And this particular one is interesting because all of the participants in the photograph are named. Here you've got the two princes in the centre of the image, and you can see here named underneath the photograph are the various dignitaries that were invited to be part of the tour of the mine. But what's very interesting is the realisation that in fact not everybody in this photograph was actually there, and this is a fine example of the early processes involved in doctoring of photographs, so that in some cases you will find a head, but in this case there's a whole person been added in, and I think it's R.M. Sargent that's been added into the photograph. Now, he must have been there, but he was obviously not included in the official photographs that were taken, and so at some point a photograph has been put together with him in it to either right a historical wrong or to create historical truth that didn't actually happen. So it's interesting that we talk about digital manipulation of photographs these days, and the fact that the pictures do not lie, but these were constructed. And I have seen other photographs of this event and others where very obviously people's faces have been added in when they weren't there. So just an interesting sideline on how important it was to be seen with the royals